Excellent. Good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And we know the hospital system in South Africa is a complete disgrace right now. But it's quite extraordinary when you get the high and mighty within a hospital blaming the patients. I mean, listen to this comment by the CEO of the Steve Biko Hospital. Steve Biko Academic Hospital has blamed long queues on patients themselves. So the long queues are the fault of the patients who come in there to be treated for some health condition. It's their fault. And it gets better. The CEO, Dr Mathabo Mathebula, said patients arriving earlier than 4 a.m. are there for socializing. Nah. They're there to try and get a position in the front of the queue. But, you know, that kind of goes over the head of people who are missing the L factor. And I think this is clearly a BEE case here. He goes on to say they hold picnics outside the hospital and are not there for healthcare. Well, they're probably doing that because they're starving. They've been waiting in queues for so long. DA Gauteng Shadow Health MEC Jack Bloom, who had earlier visited the hospital with colleague Alan Fuchs, called the hospital's defense outrageous, and it is. Bloom said it is outrageous to say that the patients are there for socializing. No one wants to socialize at 4 o'clock in the morning, especially during the winter. He said the hospital should not put the blame on the patients. Mathebula said hospital operating hours for the outpatients department and pharmacy were from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. and registration for patients who needed to collect medication was from 6 a.m. to midday. Mathebula said because patients did not adhere to these hours, with some arriving earlier than 6 a.m. while others stayed well after midday, there was often a problem with long queues. Do you see the logic factor missing there? Whether these people arrived at 4 a.m. or 7 a.m., they'd still be standing in the same queue, wouldn't they? But no. There's a complete disconnect here with the logic of the situation. Mathebula said the patients then get aggravated by those who do not even honor their appointment dates, affecting the service flow of the day. Bloom said patients had told him during his visit that if they were not early, they would not be able to see a doctor and would have to come back the next day. Now, that's the reality of the situation. That is actually what is going on. And I have so many people who've emailed me saying that, hey, they've waited for days to actually see someone in a public hospital in South Africa. It is absolutely ridiculous. Bloom said patients had told him during his visit that if they were not early, they would not be able to see a doctor and they'd have to come back the next day. In one case, an elderly man who had been there from 12 p.m. the previous day, others had arrived from 8 p.m. in the evening, he said. But Mathebula said all patients with appointments were always able to see a doctor. No patient goes home without seeing a doctor on her appointment date, she said, adding that the outpatients department and pharmacy operated by appointment. So how do you get that appointment? You know, does it kind of magically just appear out of fresh air and when you want to go and see a hospital? No. You've actually got to get into the system of that hospital. How do you get into the system of the hospital? You get there at 4 o'clock in the morning, so at least you can get to the front of the queue and then be given an appointment date. But, you know, it's no wonder that the health system in South Africa is just crashing. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for updates and have a great evening. Oh, by the way, we had a fantastic live stream earlier tonight. I hope you didn't miss it, with a fellow who's got a security company. It'll appear shortly in the main Loving Live channel. YouTube takes a little while for it to process, but it'll be there soon. All right, guys, take care.